friends with Sid, or because I know
That's what I
things are
couldn't
kind of
follow.
hazy
Right,
because
so-
there's always that legendary promo with Sid.
Twice the brain. Or
Half the brain. And,
Now, all right. If I remember, that is after this.
It is. I think it is.
I think it's after this because
I think it's in December.
I think it's. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check this stuff. It might be in the lead up to Mayhem.
Okay.
Might be
next episode.
Next
we can
episode
figure that
we
out.
can get to it. So, outsiders do their thing, and security somehow is able to get rid of them. I don't know how. I don't know how, but they do.
They offered Scott Hall a drink.
Sid comes out. Why not? Let's start the match on the outside. We're going to be there
Let's
eventually.
just start it on the outside. Fuck it.
And this thing, like, you know how Sid, like Lex Luger, looks awesome? Can't work for fucking shit when it comes to punches. They just look so fake.
Sid?
Yes.
Because he kind of punches away.
Yep.
He punches away.
You got it.
Yeah, you're right.
he has horrible depth perception.
Where on the opposite side, Bill Goldberg thinks wrestling is real. And is hitting as hard as he can.
No one's told him.
So what happens? We get the stairs. They become ajar on the outside.
The stairs become a jar.
Goldberg has like Sid's face in the stair, like on the stair, and is just punching the crap out of him. The second though the referee gets him away, we know what's happening, folks. Sid is not just reopening
bad,
the wound;
dude.
he is reblading. I think
He is.
is bleeding
It's
part
not
two.
enough.
Bleeding part 2 occurs, and sure enough, when we come back to it, Sid is a mess. He is a bloody mess, and the rest of and then it's just more weird commentating. Like the commentating turns Sid into a baby face. Talking, they keep putting over.
He
how
won't quit.
He won't quit. He's so tough. He's the toughest man that Goldberg's ever faced.
They Steve Austin him, essentially.
That is exactly what I was going to say at the end
Yeah.
of the match. If that was the goal of this, was to get him over like WrestleMania 13. Because the way this match ends up going is Goldberg just... I mean, there's no match here. He just beats the shit out of him. There's very little offense that Sid gets in.
Yeah, it's more of how can I ruin this ring?
And you can tell the ref...
Mickey J.
Mickey J is looking like... he is... You can tell he doesn't know what to do with this. Like, should I let this go? This is a high-profile match.
See, here's another thing with bleeding and wrestling. You know, it's not wrestling. You know, it's scripted. You're bleeding. It's a part of the storyline. But believe it or not, there actually is a point where you can bleed too much and you actually cannot perform. And I can't believe this never happened to Austin, where you lose so much blood that you start to get woozy, and it doesn't happen.
Jesus, softball Sid is woozy.
He is so woozy, but he's still doing even a worse god-awful version of his punch, trying to do anything he can.
Like, this is his movie, The Wrestler. Way in the future. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is...
that's going to be good.
I need to live, so I need to stick my finger in a deli slicer.
Well, remember, Sid is going to go on to potentially lose a fight to Martin Landau. So, we
Oh, Jesus.
So, sorry
Sal
for-
Mandini, want to wrestle?
Look out! It's Perry. Saturn and Sid Vicious.
That will be a fun Bono episode. We will tackle Ready to
that
Rumble.
That movie is amazing, but anyway, it hasn't
I
happened
think we
yet.
both fell asleep watching that one day.
I was the only one in the theater.
I watched the commentary is amazing because
Who does the commentary? Is it Oliver Platt?
Dweezil Zappa. No, Dweezil Zappa. Someone else. And it's Dweezil Zappa.
That
the
guy.
Two main stars. And apparently they get to the point where they don't give a shit and forget they're doing commentary and they're high because there's the line. You want to hear what corn nuts sound like in surround sound? Turn up your volume. Orange, crunch, crunch, crunch. And they talk about the camel toe on Caroline Ray. It's amazing.
I'm really sad I sold that DVD now.
Well,
we'll find it.
We'll be back to it again.
Okay.
This thing, though, again,
I hate this match. I hate it.
Well, there's no match to it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Goldberg like, if he was smart, if he was a smarter worker, you need to back away, play to the crowd for a bit or something, give Sid time to at least, or the ref time to be able to work with him to maybe salvage something out of this. Instead, no, I'm just going to beat the fuck out of him. And he does it to the point where
careless.
It
really does.
And then what's even funnier is the look on his face when the ref stops it. He looks so pissed at him that he stopped the match. And it's like, What did you expect
Once
here,
again,
Bill?
you lose so much blood. Like maybe it wasn't supposed to be the finish. I honestly don't know.
I don't think it was because
I think they overbladed.
Yeah.
And
They might have. And then you get so Goldberg wins the U.S. title, and which is weird when you go from world title win to being demoted back to the U.S. title. But then Rick Steiner comes out.
And it's funny because
Rick Steiner.
Yeah,
because Rick was running with Sid at this point.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, Rick doesn't look like Rick the worker. Rick is just
Rick's concerned.
like somebody said in the back. Because Sid, that's the thing about Sid here, which is commendable and foolish at the same time, that he wants to just keep fighting no matter what. Even though like he's out of his mind nuts at this point.
Can I mention one thing real quick?
Yeah.
The crowd. What's so interesting is the crowd was so gone after that Hogan-Sid match, after the Hogan-Sting match.
Yeah.
They are almost back with this match. Like, they are actually really into it, which is baffling me, because this match is fucking atrocious.
Right.
But the crowd's really into it.
And the thing is, how long does this match last? Maybe
5 minutes?
Yeah, 15 tops.
15? It feels so fucking
But
short.
for a main event, you're going to give me so. And that's the thing we just, the crazy thing we just talked about is it was supposed to be the main event, but it's not.
Right.
How is this not the main event?
It's now been upstaged by the strap match, which is coming.
So
but
nuts.
What's cool is Sid seemed to try to put his little bloody head plant on each one of the Slim Jim markers in the four corners of the ring. I felt like, when I was a kid, I was terrified of Sid Vicious.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
he's just a monster. He's scary.
6'8".
He and Van Vader, when they were masters of the power bomb with Harley Race and manager, to me, one of the most scary tag teams
Sure,
ever.
absolutely.
And then seeing this guy bleeding like this, and I felt sympathy for him.
That's the thing. Like
That's like an unintended...
unintended,
ran
without
so
a doubt.
well.
Yeah.
They totally the commentators were putting him over. The crowd was, for what it's worth, buying into it, getting behind Sid, even though he's still playing up that he doesn't want to quit fighting. That's the funny thing. And even Rick Steiner, if you see his face, he is clearly like, Sid, stop. We need to get the fuck out of here now.
Yep.
And
You need to go. We can see your skull.
Yeah. No, he was messed up.
So-
and all for what? This match sucks.
And it's I don't know if it's at this point or at another point. Bobby says Goldberg was in the fight of his life, and I'm like, how? He was
Sid was in the fight.
Well,
of his
because
life,
Bobby,
maybe.
he could have potentially got hip, I guess.
I mean, the thing is,
Bob Orton.
if you're going to say somebody who's in the fight of their life, then I have to believe they're in significant danger. Goldberg was never in any danger in this match at all. Not one, even when
Not a
the
choke
lumbering
slam.
security couldn't spot the outsiders coming a mile away and ambushing him. So, nevertheless, another, not quick cut, but we're back we're getting the video packages here, folks. They're starting to come in. We get the recap of DDP and Flair.
Yes, we do.
We
actually get the hotel video.
We get
That's
the hotel.
bounce I was talking about.
Hey.
we go.
The Flair bounce.
So this is very interesting.
But then, when we're coming out of the video package, we've got Metallicro playing again, and it's
Sting, Sting,
Sting.
Sting's music? Question mark. He's coming back.
Stinger's back in the ring.
It's time to apologize.
Sting says very simply, "I did not come out to Vegas for a night off,"
and the crowd cheers. He's the heel, right?
He's the heel.
All right, let's keep going.
And he's challenging anyone in the back to come out and
That's
wrestle.
what heel world champions do. Someone come take this from me, please.
So that pretty much puts the upcoming strap match on a time limit.
Just before this, we were like, okay, the strap match is now the main event. Not so fast.
No, we got more.
Whether you like it or not. So
It's the worst thing going on today.
Page versus Flair time.
Yeah, this is the most notes I took in an entire match.
Because for what it's worth,
fucking hell.
For what it's worth, I think Flair is trying to guide Page through this. I think he's trying to tell a story here. Now, in the execution, here's where it gets funky. I mean, the thing is, what is there really to say about this until we get to the finish? Like, it's a lot of, I'm going to choke you.
Let's try.
Actually, if I recall, in an episode of Under Duress, you and I talked about how all strap matches have the same, I'm going to hold you on my back, I'm going to tag, you tag, And I mean, this is finished, but this is something completely different.
To the commentary's credit, they say right off the bat, this is not going to be a strap match with post rules. It's going to be a strap match that just ends in a
So it's not a
pinfall.
strap match.
It's not a strap. It's just a.
It's a bondage match.
I don't see the point. This makes just as much sense to me as a cage match that ends with a pinfall, which drives me even fucking crazier than whatever this is.
Well, that's not our podcast to do. What I was going to say. There's some good cage matches that ends in pinfalls.
Yeah, I know, but
why is there a referee in a cage? Like that. That's where I draw the line.
If you go back to the idea of the idea with the cage, it should be 2 guys enter, 1 man leaves.
One man leaves. That's it. Door climbing out. Big
So
Show
I see
throws
that.
you through the cage. Whatever it takes, man.
You get speared through the cage.
Fucker.
Jeez.
Classic.
Also, by the way, there's a sign in the crowd that says, "What? No puppies?"
Yeah. What is that? It's a hard camera.
Another quick cut in when Hogan was not coming out. They do like a 30-second close-up on a
sad
WWF wrestling buddy in the
Of
crowd.
Hogan.
Yeah.
Because I was like, WCW ripped that off to a T.
The logo is so clearly on there, WWF, and they keep it on.
What about sad kid number 2? That one lady who, the showgirl single working mom, who got those front row tickets by probably putting out, has her kid right there with his little cups, and he's all excited about Hogan, and it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
I'm more excited at this point at that lady and that kid's backstory. Where's this kid today? Probably a criminal.
I think during this match, Paige and Flair run into them at some point because they decide to not just go on the outside. They go around the entire arena, and it's really just walking around, chopped by Flair, punched by Paige, traded off, and they just keep.
And these are 2 of my favorite guys.
Yes.
DDP was my favorite guy in all of WCW.
Mm-hmm. I used to lie and tell people he was my 5th cousin. True story.
You heard it here
Family
first, folks.
reunion.
Yeah. Give me a discount on your DDP yoga. We're fictional 5th cousins.
So Ric Flair blades in 5 minutes.
They're blades in the strap.
I don't even remember what it took, what the move was that got him to do it.
I can't remember if it's a guardrail spot or if it's just a punch.
I think it was just a punch.
I think it's just I'm leaning towards
Diamond Dallas Page made of diamonds.
It's just another pet peeve of mine. Ric Flair blades too much. He blades entirely too much in his career.
Now, see, right after the blading happens, it's crazy now where the commentary all of a sudden is like, have you ever seen a pay-per-view like this? These writers.
Actually, no.
They put over the writers. They put them over in this match.
That's what I don't understand. To go back to Buff Bagwell talking about the writers up north. What like Jim Cornette would go crazy over this shit. What does this do to psychology when you have wrestlers, talking about the writers up north while they're in the middle of a segment that is clearly written? It's like the inception of professional wrestling.
Good job. It's a promo within a promo within a promo within a shoot.
Within a shoot.
I can see the meme where it ends with that DiCaprio face. Right,
Buff Bagwell's going to come out. He's going to try to spin his oversized Monopoly piece top hat, and it just fades to black. We never know.
I just don't get it. I don't get why they do that. But
go on.
Go on. You have my permission.
Go on. I have nothing to say right now.
The build towards the finish is Paige. What better way to? Paige chokes out Ric Flair with the strap.
Oh, it's awesome.
And I mean,
it is awesome. I have it right here. I marked the fuck out when he's choking him out and then he spins it into a diamond cutter.
Because Flair takes in a great diamond cutter.
Oh, it's great. And I actually jumped out of my bed.
Here comes.
Wow.
This is a
WCW fashion.
Who's the referee, folks? That'd be Little Nate.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tonight's least valuable player, Charles Robinson,
goes for the pinfall. 1, 2.
He Earl Hebner's without a single move from Ric Flair. And remember when he does this? And he kind of adjusts his hair. Yeah. And it's like, he knows.
And then, he calls for the bell, even though he really didn't. Well, he kind of counted 3. It's hard to say because it was a collapsing 2 count because he expected Ric Flair to kick out. Nevertheless, he calls for the bell. And the look on Paige's face.
Oh, it's gold. I must have played it 5 times. Bitch. Because you texted me about it before I even knew about it. And I was like, oh, this has got to be what he's talking about. And that diamond cutter looked good.
He diamond cuts the fuck out of Charles Robinson. Won't be the first finisher Robinson takes tonight, unfortunately.
I want to mention